Hello and welcome to my channel. Wishing everyone a very happy new year. So it's been a while since I've talked on this channel. So today I'm here playing Daggerfall Unity, and this is modded Daggerfall. So a lot of ease of life mods and graphics enhancements and some general immersion type mods. Okay, so let's get started. So we're gonna start a new game, and then here we are in the race selection menu. By the way, I have some custom races installed in the more button you can see here, but I'm going to go with one of the vanilla races. And I have a race overhaul mod called Races Redone, so I'm using that. And so here I'm going to pick the High Elf race or Altmer. Is your character to be a High Elf? Yes. So High Elves are immune to paralysis, and that's very helpful. But I'm picking this more for the magical abilities. Select thy character's gender. Okay. And I'll pick male here. Would you like to choose from a list of possible classes to play? You can also create your own custom character class by choosing this option. Or we can generate your character's class by answering 10 questions to determine the class most compatible to you. I'm going to go with the first one. I do have a class overhaul mod that makes all the default classes better, but I'm gonna go with custom class because I just like to customize my character. Okay, now we are in the class creation UI here, and I'm going to max out my intelligence and willpower and decrease all my other attributes except for endurance by 10, and the maximum we can go is 75. So 75 intelligence and willpower, 50 endurance, and everything else at 40. And now for skills. So for primary skills, I'm going to go with destruction, restoration, and thaumaturgy. Destruction is for damage dealing spells like fireball, restoration to heal, and these two are like essential skills. And thaumaturgy, I think it's for levitation, which will be handy. And now for major skills, I'll go with alteration, mysticism, and illusion. So we are going for a pure mage build here. In an unmodded Daggerfall, I will not recommend this class, but since I have mods like Magica Regen mod, so in that case this class works just fine. And now for minor skills, let's go with Daedric, dodging, necromancy, mercantile etiquette, and sylvan tongue. So Daedric and necromancy, because we're going for a mage build, so it's for role playing, and these will help us convince Daedras and undead to not harm us. If they work, there's a skill check, and dodging will help us dodge attacks, and mercantile for buying and selling stuff, and etiquette to make some knights and other type of human enemies in dungeons not harm us, so we can convince them to let us go. And then similarly, Sylvan Tongue is to convince centaurs and spriggans and some other type of creatures to not harm us. I do have a mod to enhance these language skills, so now we can do more than just convince them to not harm us. Like, we can convince them to follow us and to sell goods to them or to buy things from them. And it's a pretty good mod called Language Skills Overall, and I recommend everyone to get that. Now I'm going to edit special advantages, and I'm going to pick increased majory 3x int in spell points. So this will give us a lot more magicka or mana to cast our spells, but this has also increased the difficulty of the game to balance us out. So we're going to pick a few disadvantages to bring this back down. So in the disadvantages, I'm going to pick Forbidden Material Dwarven and Forbidden Material Mithril, and also Forbidden Weaponry Missile Weapon and Axe. Now this has brought the difficulty meter down, so the game's difficulty will be fairly decreased to balance us for our disadvantages. So that's good because this game can be pretty difficult. So lowering the slider will be good for a newish player like me. And now for the class name. So I'm going to go with Warlock. And I won't be editing any reputations here. And so let's move on to the next part of character creation. And now it's asking, would you like to fast start by automatically generating your character's background? You will be able to adjust starting attributes and skills within the character sheet. Or we can choose your character's career path by answering 12 important career decisions that will influence character background. Now, usually I go with the second one here, but I did that once on a previous playthrough, so this time I'll pick the first one here. Oh, and it seems our reputation with scholars and the underworld has been increased. So the fast generate can do that sometimes, where it will randomly change things up. So now thieves and scholarly types will like us. Okay, and now let's pick a name. I think I'll just let the random name generator to pick a name. And okay, let's go with this one, Corellas Hythar. And now let's move on to the final part of character creation. This game has a very detailed character creation. A lot of the older games do, and this game is, I think, older than even me. So, yeah. Okay, so let's pick a face and let's go with this one. And in this section, I'm going to dump all of these into endurance so that we'll have more HP by leveling up. And here I'll go with destruction, mysticism, and mercantile. And for reflexes, I'm going to go with very high reflexes. I have played other modern action games, so I think it's fine. And also, very high reflexes will let me level up faster, which is good because I like faster progression. And finally, our character creation is complete. And now let's get on with the game.
400 years after Tiber Septim's reign, the beginning will meet the end, and the bloody circle will close at the empire of Tamriel. The unworthy heirs of the Septim dynasty have allowed the bonds of the empire to weaken and crack. Uriel Septim the Seventh cannot repair what his ancestors ignored. The provinces fight among themselves like neglected children, drunk with rebellion. One indomitable power hides itself, but not forever.
Excuse the gloom, but none may know of this meeting. The nature of my trouble is darker still. Over a year ago, King Lysandus of Daggerfall died honorably on the field of battle. He was as loyal a subject, ally, and friend as you are. I did grieve for him, but his spirit does not rest. With a spectral army, he haunts his former kingdom, crying for revenge. I do not know why a good and loyal man would be so cursed. Perhaps you can find the answer and close the marble jaws of oblivion, bringing peace to his soul. I ask this as your emperor and your friend. I have one lesser request. Several years ago, I wrote a letter to the Queen of Daggerfall. It never arrived. The letter was of a sentimental and personal nature. If you find and destroy that letter, I will be grateful. Now, my champion, rest well this night, for tomorrow you sail for the kingdom of Daggerfall.
And finally, our game has started. So, the Emperor has sent us to this province to destroy his letter and to stop the host of King Lysandus from haunting Daggerfall. That's basically our main quest here. But on our way here, we got shipwrecked and ended up in this dungeon, and this is where the game starts. And now we have to make our way out of this dungeon. And I'm saying no to the tutorial because I already followed it in a previous playthrough, so I don't need it anymore. And this is our spell book, and first let's change the icons of these spells to more modern icons. And let's hotkey these spells. Okay, so now let's get going. So in the next room, there is a rat that we're going to have to kill. But first, let's try to pacify it with our animal taming skill. And Unfortunately, Rat is not impressed with our animal taming skill, so we have to kill it. The arcane arrow spell and the shock spell is our offense options at the moment. And the rat actually did some good damage. Okay, so let's heal up and we should select a better healing spell. The spell we're currently using will get better at higher levels, but we have a better healing option for lower levels. And let's grab the loot on the table over there, and we found some steel gauntlets which will be nice, and the gold is good, but the rest will just sell later. Oh, and the leather sauces will use them too. And yeah, let's get going. And here's an imp. So the imp is a little bit stronger than the other two animals we fought. Imps can use magic. Our impish skill actually worked here. It's been pacified. Now let's see if we can get him to follow us. And unfortunately, our impish skill is not good enough for anything else except for pacifying. But maybe at later levels, when our skill gets higher, we'll be able to do that. So okay, but we can name it though, so let's give it a name. I'm gonna call it Tiki. So the room where Tiki is in has some treasure, but unfortunately it's blocking our way. So let's move on for now, because I don't want to pick another fight with it. But imps and animals hate each other, so let's see if we can get it to attack an animal. And here this room has a rat, and our animal taming is still not working. So let's just get it to chase us, and then we'll let Tiki and this rat fight each other. And wow, Tiki insta killed it. See, imps are a lot tougher than animals, so pacifying it is going to be pretty helpful for us. And now let's get the treasure inside Tiki's room. Let's keep moving. Okay, so this room over here, there is a humanoid enemy here, a bandit or thief or something, and let's see if we can lure it out. Unfortunately, magic is not luring it out, so we'll have to go ourselves. Hope we don't get killed here. And there she is. Okay, let's run now. We'll team up with Tiki to take her on. So let's get her to chase us. Okay, so now Tiki and she can fight. And let's help Tiki out. And oh, we accidentally pacified her with our streetwise. And I didn't think we could actually do that. because our streetwise is pretty low. So looks like Stakey has won. Uh, let's loot her body to see if we can find anything. And let's keep moving. So, and there's this bat. Okay, let's quickly finish it off. But now in the next room, there is another human enemy. We're again going to test out our streetwise skill or etiquette. Some human enemies require the etiquette skill and some require streetwise. Usually thieves or assassin types require streetwise because they're like more underworld, and some others like battle mages or knights, they require etiquette. Oh, and look, the archer has been pacified with etiquette. This happened automatically. The mod that enhances our language skills, by default it disables the automatic pacifying, but I have re-enabled it. So this archer now is not going to attack us. Let's see if we can get him to follow us. And as you can see, we can actually buy things from him, but we're not going to do that. He's not going to follow us though. Our skill is not high enough to get him to agree to do that. But still, we have an ally in this room that we can use to our advantage. Like, for example, this rat here. We'll just let our archer friend kill it instead of engaging with it ourselves. And our animal training didn't work on it either, and the rat is dead. I believe there is another rat in that room, but it's not moving yet. Let's see if we can get our archer to kill that one too. Aside from our damage dealing spells and healing spells, we have a few other utility spells. So now I'm going to use this rise spell. It's a levitation spell, and I'm going to use it to go inside this room but stay out of the rat's reach. And okay, so our archer friend is again now fighting this new rat, and this time he is taking some damage. I guess he's not so lucky this time. But so yeah, the rat is dead. We are now a lot closer to the dungeon exit, so let's keep on moving. In this very large room, there's usually a bat and a skeleton here, but I'm not noticing them right now. So let's levitate upwards and see. And there's the skeleton. Okay. And looks like it has already killed the bat. And let's see if we can pacify it with our necromancy. And unfortunately, we can't. Looks like we're going to. Oh, from the other room, another character came up. This guy is also a mage, and he can shoot projectile spells. So I'm going to now team up with my archer friend here to hopefully take it down. But it looks like the skeleton is even stronger because it easily killed him. Now let's get the skeleton to chase us to this room. And so the mage has damaged it pretty badly. So hopefully our archer can take him down. Oh wow, the archer couldn't do anything. So I guess we have to take him out ourselves now. Okay, so luckily we managed to successfully kill that skeleton before it can land a single attack against us. We're not very physically strong, so avoiding the enemy is important right now. Now let's keep moving on. Okay, so this chair that you see here, this is actually an elevator, but since we have levitate spell, we're just going to fly up instead, and we're now a lot closer to the dungeon's exit. Now let's quickly kill this rat. And keep moving on. Okay, so this is basically the final room that we're approaching now, and there's another imp here. Okay, but this imp is not impressed with our impish, so we're going to have to fight it now. Looks like we won. And we can now exit the dungeon, but before I do that, I'm going to try and see if there is more gold to loot and just check things out for a little bit. Okay, there's another skeleton here, and skeletons are pretty tough right now, especially since we're at a lower level with low level gear, and our spells are not doing much damage, and its attacks are very strong, as you can see, so we have to Okay, and this levitation spell is going to come really handy here since skeletons can't levitate. So we're going to kill it from the air instead where it can't attack us. And finally, skeleton is down. That took a lot of time. Now let's move on a little bit further and okay, let's kill this thief. Unfortunately, pacification did not work on her, so we have to fight her. And wow, and that was a close call. She put up a really good fight. And I think I'm finally done with this dungeon. And I'm getting out of here now. I was hoping to find some shoes, but I guess I'll have to go bare feet for now. Not a single enemy had any shoes or boots, so let's just get out now. And this is the dungeon exit, and now finally we're getting out of here. And finally, we're out of that dungeon. Fresh air. And that's it for today. I'm ending this video now. If you liked it, give it a like, and if you want to see more, subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching and take care.